JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 13th of December 2021. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel. Just bear with me one moment. Yep, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So check us out here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. So now then, first of all, of course, I would like to apologize if I don't sound very clear. I mean, I have a bit of a cold, so hopefully that's not going to get too much in the way. So, coming back to the charts here, Nikkei 225. So it's currently stuck in the middle of in between these two lines, in between the two trend lines, the short-term downside resistance line taken from the high of the 14th of September, and the medium-term upside support line drawn from the low of the 20th of August. So, in other words, for now we're just kind of stuck here in the middle. I mean, it seems that yes, we could be forming this symmetrical triangle pattern. Excuse me. Then yes, for now, I mean, as long as it stays, for example, somewhere above this 28,581 territory, yes, we will continue. We'll continue aiming towards the upper side of the triangle. Now, jumping into Shanghai Composite. Now, looking at this picture here. You can see that we are kind of getting closer already to that highest point of September, near the 3,723 territory. And yes, we climbed above this barrier, the 3,678 zone. If we continue to trade above it, then yes, my next target is the 3,723 territory right here. And then of course we'll take it from there. If it falls below this hurdle here, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside, because again, don't forget, we're still trading above this upside line taken from the low of the 10th of November. Now jumping into German Index Dax, so a bit of a retracement here last week. We managed to stay above that 15,540 territory. So if we continue to trade somewhere above this, then maybe another push higher might be possible. However, if you're a little bit on the cautious side, you can keep an eye on this barrier right here, the high of last week near the 15,834 level. And then we could take it from there. If we get a nice pop above that, then yes, like I said, my next target will be somewhere around that psychological 16,000 territory, or even we could go further north. So, long story short, for now, it's going to be a bit of a waiting game here. If we fall somewhere below this 15,000, maybe 500 territory now, that's where we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside, because the reason why I'm saying correction, because we're still trading above this upside line taken from the low, the 11th of December of 2020. Now jumping into Nasdaq 100. So Nasdaq did have a good week last week. It managed to remain above this downside line. However, it was struggling with this 16,454 territory right here. So if we're looking for some upside, then yes, of course, a nice good push above this hurdle right here would be needed, just to be a little bit, like I said, to be a little bit on the safe side. For the downside, I would prefer maybe to see and wait for a move back somewhere below this highlighted territory right here. That's roughly around that 15,900 territory. So a nice good drop below it. Yep, may open the door towards the current lowest point of December near the 15,543 level. Jumping into DXY, the dollar index. So yeah, I mean, we continue to trade above that 21-day EMA. So I talked about it, and what I said to you previously was that in a way, I mean, looking at this picture, we need to see a clear break through one of the lines here, either through the downside resistance line taken from the high of the 24th of November, or we need to see a break of this upside support line taken from the low of the 29th of October, and then yes, we could maybe then consider the next short-term directional move. For now, I'm just playing the waiting game here and just observing the price. It continues to trade above this upside line. So yeah, it above all of the EMAs here in our daily chart, and potentially more buyers could join in. However, given that we're very close to this upside line, we're going to remain cautious, because in a way it could still quickly drift lower and could quickly break this upside line. However, I would prefer to maybe wait for a drop somewhere below this 1770 territory and then go for some lower levels. WTI oil, very quickly on that one. So positive, so we can see some positivity here in this field. And yeah, we're breaking this downside line taken from the high of the 10th of November. Can we go for some higher levels? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, because at the moment I'm keeping an eye on the 73.11 zone. I spoke about this area, and if we get a nice pop above this, then yes, we could start, like I said, slowly grinding higher. So keep that in mind. For the downside, I would prefer to see maybe a drop somewhere below the 69.47 zone, and then kind of go to the downside. Litecoin, very quickly on that one. So haven't looked at Litecoin for quite a while, but to be honest, it's not really looking great. It's not really looking positive. I mean, we can see that we have this downside line right here, which is taken from the high of the 15th of November. So I would say this way, that as long as it stays below this downside line, yes, we will continue aiming lower. So yep, we can, for now, like I said, I know it's not maybe ideal for the crypto enthusiasts, but yeah, I mean, it is how it is. And if you're looking for something more reassuring, maybe for the downside, then wait for a drop below the 139.75 territory right here, which is marked by the lowest point of September. Jumping into a few pairs, AUD, JPY. So let me just probably refresh the chart here. Let me start fresh. After the strong reversal we saw here in the beginning of December, after it reversed sharply from that 78.79 zone, yep, the pair made its way back to its EMAs. It's currently stalling here. It's stalling slightly below them. But if, of course, don't get me wrong, I mean, we might see some more up moves here. However, certain confirmation breaks are still needed, and one of the lines that I'm keeping an eye on here, of course, is this one right here.